In the heart of the city, where secrets are buried under the cover of darkness, a witness stands silently, hidden in the shadows. Time had stopped for many that night, but for one man, it was the beginning of a journey he never anticipated. The shadowed alley had witnessed countless stories, but tonight, it was about to become the scene of an unforgettable one. A crime had been committed, one that would send shockwaves through the city. But the clues were scarce, and the victim remained unidentified. In the chaos, a single witness knew the truth, yet fear held him captive, rendering him voiceless. Could the silent witness muster the courage to speak, or would the truth remain buried forever? Detective Collins, a man known for his tenacity, had seen many cases like this, but something about this one felt different. His keen eye caught details others overlooked, but even he knew he needed more than just clues to solve this mystery. Little did he know, the truth was watching him from the shadows, too scared to step forward. Michael Parker had never imagined his life would spiral into this nightmare, haunted by the crime he had witnessed. Every time he closed his eyes, the images of that night replayed, tormenting him. He knew the right thing to do, but the fear of repercussions kept him silent, shackled by his own conscience. How long could he live with this guilt? How long before his silence led to another tragedy? The weight of the truth was suffocating, and Michael knew he had to make a choice, stay silent or seek redemption. The decision was his alone, but it would change the course of his life forever. Courage isn't the absence of fear, but the decision to act despite it. Michael's hand hovered over the phone, knowing what he had to do. But as the call connected, the weight of his decision crushed him, and fear pulled him back into the shadows. He wasn't ready to speak yet, but the first step towards redemption had been taken. The detective had sensed something, a lead that brought him to Michael's door, where the truth lay hidden. Michael's heart raced as he realized that the time for silence was running out. The confrontation was inevitable, and now, Michael had to decide whether to continue hiding or finally come clean. The weight of silence had finally broken, and Michael began to unravel the story of that fateful night. Each word was a step closer to redemption, but also a step deeper into the unknown. Would the truth set him free, or would it lead to consequences he wasn't prepared for? Sometimes, the smallest details hold the greatest significance. A broken watch, a forgotten clue, and a moment of realization. Michael's confession had brought to light a detail that everyone else had overlooked. The hidden clue was the key to unraveling the mystery, but it also led to a deeper, darker truth. With the new clue in hand, the chase was on. Every second counted, and the truth was just within reach. Michael's heart pounded in sync with the speeding car, knowing that his confession had set this chain of events in motion. But the closer they got to the truth, the more dangerous the journey became. The warehouse stood as a monument to forgotten things, abandoned and decayed, but it held secrets that were far from forgotten. Detective Collins and Michael knew this place was the final piece of the puzzle, but the danger that lurked inside was unknown. The air was thick with anticipation as they entered, each step echoing in the silence, the truth hidden in the shadows. In the heart of the warehouse, a secret lay buried, one that had been hidden for far too long. The trapdoor was more than just an entrance, it was a gateway to the truth, a truth that Michael was both eager and terrified to uncover. As they descended into the darkness, the reality of what they might find began to weigh heavily on them both. The underground chamber was a place of secrets, where plans were made and lives were lost. Michael's breath caught in his throat as he saw the journal, a relic from his past, containing the answers they had been seeking. This was it, the moment of truth. But would the answers found here bring closure, or open new wounds? The journal revealed a twisted web of connections, each page unraveling the mystery that had plagued the city. Michael's hands shook as he realized the depth of the conspiracy and how close he had been to becoming another victim. But in the darkest of revelations, there was a glimmer of hope, the chance to stop this madness once and for all. The final confrontation was inevitable, a showdown between the truth and those who had sought to bury it. As the mansion's door opened, the true mastermind behind the crimes emerged, someone Michael had known but never suspected. The stakes were high, and with the truth in hand, there was no turning back, only the promise of justice. In the face of danger, true courage is revealed. Michael and the detective were outnumbered, but they were fighting for more than just their lives. The struggle was fierce, each side determined to win, but it was Michael's newfound resolve that tipped the scales. With the gun aimed at him, Michael realized that his silence had cost him dearly, but now he had the chance to make things right. The moment of truth had arrived, and Michael made the ultimate sacrifice to ensure the truth would not be buried. As the bullet flew, time seemed to slow, but Michael's act of bravery turned the tide. The mastermind's plan had unraveled, and with the journal in safe hands, justice was within reach. Justice had finally been served. The city could breathe a sigh of relief, knowing that the darkness had been vanquished. Michael had paid a price for his silence, but in the end, his courage had redeemed him. As the case was closed, the lesson was clear: silence can be deadly, but the truth has the power to set you free. The city had changed, but so had Michael. The horrors of the past would never be forgotten, but they no longer controlled his life. The letter of commendation was more than just recognition, it was a symbol of his redemption and the power of doing the right thing. As he stood by the memorial, Michael knew that his journey had come full circle, and that he would never let fear silence him again. The story of Michael Parker was a story of fear, redemption, and ultimately, courage. The lesson was simple but profound: when faced with the choice between silence and truth, always choose the truth, no matter the cost. For in the end, it's the truth that sets us free, and the courage to speak it that defines who we truly are.